Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome back again to this channel. Thank you so much for joining me in this live section. Finally, the truth is out. The question is, who is dividing Nigeria? The people who are dividing Nigeria, is it the people that want to separate and have their own nation? Or is it the people that are still saying that they want one Nigeria? Now, taking a look at what is happening, Showore was saying that the problem of Nigeria is Igbo people. That is the problem Nigeria have. Nigeria just have problem with the Igbo people. You guys know countless times that these people have tried to remove Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, just to make sure that the man suffers, because they know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is someone who is always speaking out the evil agenda that the governments are doing. He's always the one speaking out the bad things that these Fulani terrorists are doing. And the worst part of it is that they know the truth. They know that what this federal government is doing is not good, but some people are afraid to talk. Only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has the capacity to say, point out the people who are in power that are not doing the right thing. That is the reason why this man has not yet been released to now. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. Take a look at, for instance, after everything that happened in Nigeria, anything that's happening in Nigeria, any ugly incident that is happening in Nigeria, these people will want to tag Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in it. Even when he went to court, they said that the thing that happened in EdSARS, you guys know the protest that happened, the EdSARS protest, they still had to link Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in it, saying that he was, what they started asking the question, like, why did he make a broadcast during the EdSARS protest? And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said the only reason why he made that broadcast was because the army people were buying the protesters, and this is the reason why he made that broadcast. Like everything that happens in Nigeria, any ugly incident that happens in Nigeria, these people will want to target to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that's why Showore was saying, I'm going to play you guys the video so you guys will hear what Showore said about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the reason why he's still in detention. And we all know that the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention is because the federal government has known that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always the one that is pointing out the evil agenda of the politician. And even this Fulani terrorist, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is the only person that is doing it. And when they found out that he's an Igbo man, they decided to keep him under detention. I remember when Sunday Igboha was found with a gun. But when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was searched, when they went to his apartment, they searched him. The only thing they found with this man was a hanky, his iPad, and his phone. They never found any gun with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but they found a gun with Sunday Igboho. But why did they now decide to detain Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and still tag him as a terrorist when they could not tag Sunday Igboho as a terrorist? Like, this is very sad. This is very sad. You guys need to just listen to a short clip of what Showore said about Nigeria, saying that the problem that Nigeria has is Igbo people. Like, I don't know why this Nigeria hates Igbo people a lot. Like, the hatred is not here. The hatred is not here. No wonder these Fulani terrorists hate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a lot, because of they know that once Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, the evil agenda is going to be brought to an end. You guys need to just take a short clip and hear what Showore have to say about why Igbo people is Nigeria's problem. Take a look at
Nigeria has an Igbo problem. So it's a multi-generational issue, like it's like when a father is dying and they are not Igbo, they will tell their son, please, I have problem with Igbo people, continue from there, because that's the only way I can explain it. And I understand it came from the Civil War. And so because I was surprised that Tinubu would even take Nnamdi Kanu's case, more than 2 days after he came into office. I expected that just as he was declaring against subsidy, he would just say, look, for national cohesion and whatever lie you want to tell, we're going to let this man go for now and figure out how to resolve our differences. But the fact that they even go worse shows that it's just like there's a secret file somewhere that said, look, don't open, just continue where we start. But beyond that, I also know that there are some Igbo elites who are complicit in it, because There was a time they were having conversation about it, and they said, no, please, let's have election first. And then after the election, the devil intervened more. But the most important thing is not to even reduce it to that alone, is that there is something about the Nigerian states and the Nigerian nation and how they see Biafrans. So, and I think it came from the Biafran War. Maybe because people like us didn't participate in the war. That's the reason we feel this way. Because I was born in 1971. I cannot carry, I don't have a multi-generational cause, or conspiracy against Igbos. But I genuinely, and I've said it several times, and I'm not saying it's based on what I know. There's no, I mean, even the Supreme Court was this shy of saying, look, this guy did nothing, he broke his bail. In fact, I told Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer that they should not reapply for bail because the Supreme Court has reinstated the bail practically from what they said. But they went and reapplied, and, and there's no way, and I'm saying it, there's no way Nnamdi Kanu is going to get justice from a federal high court, a court of appeal, or Supreme. It's impossible, except if the state decides that, because Nnamdi Kanu is the official prisoner of whomever is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I know what it means to be, they have to go to the president every morning and report that you're still alive, or you're eating, or you are on hunger strike. So, but at this time, he's the official prisoner of the president. And anything that is official to the president doesn't let go.
An Igbo man will never become the president of this country. Yes, an Igbo man will never become the president of this country. When I see comments like this on my thread, I begin to wonder, what is the state of mind that evolved this kind of comments? You see, when I see people lost in the labyrinth of this conjecture, I now begin to realize the type of wickedness, the type of hatred, the type of disunity that some politicians, perhaps in the past, may have sown in Nigeria. So, if you don't want an Igbo man to become president, and yet...
So guys, I'm sure you guys have heard what Sowore said in this video, that the reason why they're taking Igbo people like this is because of the way they see Biafra. They feel that Biafra is one kind nation that wants to destroy Nigeria totally. That's one thing that they don't understand. And that's the reason why you see other tribes, in fact, the federal government is having problem with Igbo people. But let me tell them that the more they keep having problem with Igbo people, the more that these countries keep going backwards. That's one thing they don't understand. The more they keep having problem with Igbo people, the more these countries keep going back, because Igbo people are like light to this country. They're like light to this country. That's why you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always fighting for the freedom of Igbo people, because he knows that Igbo people are like the people that are holding this country. Because take for instance, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not there to fight these Fulani terrorists, do you know that if not because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, these Fulani terrorists are going to take over the whole Nigeria. But because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you see them, they are coming down a little. But when you go to the northern side, you find out that insecurity is tougher there. And why insecurity is tougher there is because they don't have someone like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is agitating for them. That is just the difference between Hausa and Igbo. You guys heard what they said, what Sowore said. That is because of the way they see this, is because of the way the Nigerians are seeing Igbo people. They feel that Biafra, because of what happened in the World War, they feel that Biafra is full of violence. That's what they feel. They feel that Biafra is full of violence. That's why you see they want to just, they just want to remove any Igbo people from this country. They just want to remove Igbo people. They feel that Igbo people is violent. And the worst part of it is that anytime, any attack that happens in Nigeria, why would they always link it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? This to show you the hatred that they have for Igbo people. You guys are already seeing what is happening. You guys are already seeing what is happening. Even when when it comes to politics, there's no Igbo man that's occupying a better position. Like there's no Igbo man at all that's occupying a better position in this country. You guys can see what is happening. A lot is really happening. I'm telling you guys, a lot is really bad. And it's time to end the injustice that these people are giving to Igbo people. It's time to end the injustice that is being given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These people had to even tag NSAS protest to him, saying that why did he do broadcast in NSAS protest? Are they not trying to say that he was the one that caused the NSAS protest? This to show you the kind of country we are in. I want you guys to also listen to what Magnus Orokwe have to say concerning this issue about
you that says you don't want an Igbo man to be the president of Nigeria. You are the same person that cries one Nigeria. The unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct. Nigeria is an indivisible entity. Blah, blah, blah. All these rhetorics that suggest that one part of the country will rule, the other ones you follow. These are the same people that will cry wolf when an Igbo man says, break the country and let us go. What exactly is going on here? Why are this set of people so intoxicated with the idea that the leadership of this country must belong to a certain portion of this country, while the rest of us play the act of sit down and look? Let me tell you what is going on here. Now, trust me, I am not saying this to market the Igbos. There are bad leaders in Igbo language. There are bad leaders in Yoruba. There are bad leaders in Fulani. There are bad leaders everywhere. So what I'm asking this set of people is that if we get a leader that can actually transform Nigeria from its chaos, are we going to reject him just because he bears an Igbo origin? You see, a lot of you are not ready yet for this country to transform itself. They say Nigeria is a giant of Africa. But clearly, from what I've seen, Nigeria is the Peking of Africa. There is nothing about Nigeria right now that anyone can be proud of. I had thought that, okay, let me say, there's a guy that made a comment in my thread and said that my hatred for Tinubu. I don't hate Tinubu. I dislike Tinubu. There's a sharp difference between hatred and dislike. And why do I dislike Tinubu? I dislike him because of what he represents. He represents criminality, deceit, and shortcut to getting what you want. A man who says you have to grab something, snatch something, and run away with it. That's a criminal mentality. So if that kind of person with that type of mentality is a role model to you, it's not a role model to me. I like a president that I could quote his words and stamp it on marbles. I like to write the word of my leader on the sand of time so that my children can say, okay, my father quoted these words from a leader. And they want to walk by it. They want to abide by those words. Imagine telling my children, look, Obaro, look, see, the only way to get things in this life is to grab it, snatch it, and run away with it. What type of legacy is that? That's a criminal legacy. The purpose of this video is to say something. Yes, Nigeria is a multilingual entity, about 375 ethnic nationalities, which somehow the colonial masters forcefully brought together. Now, if we must make this country work, we must establish a sense of equity, justice. We must take away and get rid of this undue ethnic bias. Now, I said in my previous video that anywhere in Africa where one tribe assumed itself as more populous,
I'm sure you guys listened to the short clip of what Magnus Orokwe have to say. What this man said in this video is nothing but the truth. Imagine when one tribe is feeling like they have it all. Imagine. So, for example, now let me say an Igbo man has the power to change this country. So, is this country saying that they cannot give the power to an Igbo man? Is that what they're trying to say? That means this country is not ready for transformation. They are not ready for change. See the way they are always selecting out Igbo people in everything they do. They have not even tried to say, okay, let them give Igbo people a chance. Just like what happened in Anambra State when Tinubu went to visit Anambra. Many Nigerians were saying that Governor Soludo has betrayed them. That in fact, that thing before Tinubu must even come to Anambra State, that Tinubu should actually order for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what many Nigerians were saying. They should order for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because they are tired of this man being in detention, an innocent man. The worst part is that everybody listens to his broadcast. He has never said anything bad in his broadcast. Even when they came to search his house, because they were actually looking for anything to use to implicate this man, they didn't see gun, they didn't see anything. They only saw handkerchief and his iPad and his book and his phone. That was all. And his microphone he used to use and go live. That was all they saw in this man's place. Now, Sunday Igboho, the Yoruba nation agitator, when they caught him with a gun. They did not say let them detain him. They did not say let them lock him up. But they locked up Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man. They did not do anything. This is 5 years in detention. When I tell you that, it's not like we are trying to praise Igbo people, but when I tell you that Igbo people have the power, the capacity to change this country, that is why you say they are not giving them the right to do it. They know that once Igbo man takes over that presidential seat, a lot of things are going to change in Nigeria. Well, how is it that this country has never thought of it, that let them try and give Igbo man this seat? Let us see how the Igbo man is going to run it. Let's see how they are going to do it. This country has never thought of it. All they just think about is how to give Hausa people the power to rule in 2027 and how to give Yoruba people the power to rule in 2027. And the same people who are saying that they cannot give an Igbo man power, that Igbo man will never be the president of this country, are the same people that after the 2023 election, they came out and were saying, hunger don't buy me, oh, hunger has finished us. So they are the same people who are saying it. So what exactly do they want? I remember, and I remember when people were saying that Igbo man will never rule, that Tinubu is going to be the president of Nigeria, whether they like it or not. Jagaban is going to be the president in 2023. Now Jagaban has entered. Many people transformed. Hunger finished a lot of people. Insecurity increased. High cost of food in the market. And are the same people who are making out that Tinubu is going to be the 23 is going to be the president in 2023 elections, and now that an Igbo man will never rule. Now let us see what is going to happen come 2027. Let's see what is going to happen if there's going to be change. If they will still allow, because the way I'm looking at itself, Igbo people are never given any rights are not even given any rights in this country. And that's why when Tinubu visited Anambra, many people are like very angry. Why did he even come to Anambra? Someone who hates Igbo. Someone who hates Igbo with his whole life. Like they have sworn that Igbo person will never have a good or better position in this country. That they are still forcing us to come and join army recruitment. They want us to come and join army. But they know fully well that no slavery has begun for so long. And the Igbos are saying that they are tired of it. Imagine when our forefathers were still alive, they were slaving the Igbo people. The Igbo people were never given any chance. In fact, they sold Igbo people to slavery. The Britain colonized us. They colonized us, and they are still the ones that introduced guns to us. And now, as if that one was not enough, that they colonized us and they left. After everything they left, they still had to, according to rumors, or like say allegedly, they are still the ones funding these Fulani terrorists. The worst part of it is that I keep asking myself is that I have never heard or seen where they say that a Fulani terrorist was caught and was taken to jail. I have never seen any of that in my ear. I've never heard any of that at all. They say that they caught a Fulani terrorist and that Fulani terrorist was taken to jail. Never. Only what you're going to hear is that we caught a Fulani terrorist, and after everything, they say that they are not repentant, that they have repented, and they will not target as they are repented Boko Haram. There's nothing called repented Boko Haram. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will say, there's nothing like repented Boko Haram. All these people you are seeing here, they're not repented, because if you allow these people to come back to the country, they're going to start causing more harms. They're going to still continue to cause more havoc. Just like there was a news I heard where they said that a governor of a particular state, I can't actually remember the state again, they caught this repented this Boko Haram, these terrorists, they caught them, and they finally came out and said that they have changed, that they have changed, that they're not going to cause problem again. What they did was that they had to tell them that okay, they should join army. They gave these people guns and gave them bikes. You know what these people did? It did not even reach 1 week or 2 weeks. These people carried the bike and the gun and run away, and they started causing more harm in the community. And the worst part is that why people are actually afraid of these Fulani terrorists is because our police or army don't take these people, like they don't used to take them. When they catch them, they don't take it serious to jail these people. Anytime they catch them, they will still release them. And now you that reported that you saw something like this in your community, or you saw a Fulani terrorist, you that reported to the police, these Fulani terrorists, once they come back to the community, they will now look for opportunity to use and catch you that reported. They will not use opportunity. Just take, for instance, take a look at what is happening in Plateau State. It's enough for you to know that this country is finished. Like the Northerners that are finished, these same Northerners that are complaining that they don't want an Igbo person are the same people that are crying. Are the same people that are crying that Tinubu's regime has finished them. The same people that are complaining they don't want an Igbo person to be in power. These people have not actually even tested what an Igbo man can do in this regime. And I keep saying that they should give Igbo people a chance to rule, so that they're going to see how to rule, because it's like the people that are ruling us don't know how to rule at all. They don't know how to rule this country, Nigeria. Let me still show you guys what Magnus Orokwe have to say about Nigeria and the reason why they're not giving Igbo people the chance to become the president of Nigeria. Guys, take a look at this video and listen to what Magnus Orokwe have to say. I'll be right back, guys. Take a look at this.
Do have the tendency to dominate those they perceive as less populous, and they refer to them as minorities. So if we have a country where disqualification of a leader is based on the ethnicity we identify himself with, it still means we are still living in the Stone Age. We are not ready to, to embrace the ideals of a 21st century civilization. Those of you who, whenever you hear the name of Peter Obi, you get sudden stroke of heart attack, you are the problem of this country. You are the problem of this country. If you are following this page, please know it without any equivocation that I am a diehard Peter Obi supporter, an unrepentant one for that matter. Now, if you bring somebody else that is better, fine. Even if it's a Yoruba man, if you bring a Yoruba man that is better than Peter Obi right now, I will switch my support. It's not about tribe. Those who base their preferences on tribe are still living in the dark ages of primitivity. You have to be better than that. You have to, if you bring the worst Urubu man today to compete with Peter Obi, I will campaign against that Urubu man. But if I assess that the Urubu man is better than Peter Obi, I will campaign for the Urubu man. This is 2025, for crying out loud. I still find it difficult to think that people are still moved or defined by their ethnic thoughts. My brother, when I reform my hand, so you really think that Tinubu 8 years, Tinubu 4+4? I still tell you, whether Tinubu rule 8 years or 12 years or become life president, I still tell you, now your people go still go internet, go they shout a bing power muna jinua. We will not beg. You know, when I am on this channel, I always look at issues that requires our deep thinking. I have always heard the saying that if you give an Igbo man the presidency of this country, they will break it. I've heard that right from when I was a kid up till now. Then the question now arose, who is really breaking this country? I mean, who is really breaking Nigeria? Because as it is now, 1960 to now is about 65 years, almost 65 years. And Nigeria has been going down the drain. There are more reasons to break Nigeria now than when we had independence. And I don't think the Igbos are responsible. I pause for a little while for us to allow that to sink in.
Exactly what this man said in this video. You guys heard what Magnus or Rekwa have to say in this video. He was saying that even if you guys bring a Yoruba person to come, they will still support, even if the Yoruba person is a good person, we the Igbo people will still support them. The Hausa people will still support that person as far as the person is good. So, this thing with ethnic bias that they are doing, if they want an Igbo person to, if they don't want an Igbo person to be the president, and you heard what he said, that he's a P2B die fan, that he's going to support P2B to be the president of Nigeria anytime, anywhere. Even if other ethnic groups bring someone who's not P2B, but a good person, they will support as far as the person has promised that he's going to rule Nigeria well. That is one thing that the people don't understand. I don't know if I would say this is 2025. Why are we still living in a primitive world? Why are we still living in the olden days? This is 2025, in the sense that we need to support any ethnic group that is coming to be the president, that's going to enter that seat, that's that presidency. We need to support as far as the person is a good person. We don't have to say, okay, it's an Igbo man. No, we don't want Igbo people to rule. No, it's an Hausa man. We don't want Hausa people to rule. As soon as whoever is giving, what thing I like about the Igbo people is that they support whoever. As far as you're going to bring change in Nigeria, they support. But when it comes to other ethnic groups, they'll be making noise. They don't want an Igbo person. They don't want an Igbo person. And it's this same people who are shouting they don't want an Igbo person that will still come out online and be shouting that there's hunger. Hey, that this regime has finished us. And Magnus Orokwe is saying in this video that whether people like it or not, even if people don't vote an Igbo person, whoever you are putting there, once the person misuse this country, once the person start bringing out his real color, you people are still the same people that will come out and be shouting, saying that this country, the person that is in seat now has finished us, hunger has finished us. You guys will still be the same person that will be shouting. Magnus Orokwe said that Igbo people will never beg. Have you ever seen, okay, let me say, for so long now, even when Tinubu has been in office, have you ever seen an Igbo man come out and start say, hey, Tinubu's regime has finished me, or else that person supported Tinubu? That's the only time the person can come out and say Tinubu's regime has finished me. But you can never see an Igbo person come out in social media and be lamenting, saying that, hey, this Tinubu regime has finished me. You can never see an Igbo person come out on the internet to say that. Even when they were calling out Tinubu government, if you guys remember this viral video that it went viral, this girl called Raya, she's an NYC copper, who came out and was lamenting that the what they're giving to them is no longer funny, that the 33,000 they were giving to them is no longer funny, that they want an increase in NYSC allowance, NYSC salary. Now, the girl we are in question is actually a Yoruba person. So I think it's Edo or Benin. So, and they're trying to say here that what Magnus Orokwe is trying to say here, that even if you guys don't vote an Igbo person, you people that voted another tribe will still the same people that come out and say this regime has finished you guys. You guys can see the insecurity, the way Plateau people are crying about insecurity. They have finished Plateau people completely. If you go to Plateau State, you see how empty that place is. People have left their land. I even saw a viral video recently of where I saw the Sokoto city residents, they were packing their loads and leaving their community. Like, when I mean their load, elderly women, elderly men, their own community that their forefathers left for them is what they were living for. Total strangers. That's to show you how bad the insecurity has gone. And when the, people start coming out to say that we know we don't want Igbo people to be our president, you'll be wondering, what kind of, are we not in 2025? Are we not in 2025? Why are people still using this mind of olden days to relate to 2025? Why? A time that, is it that this country is not ready for transformation, or they're not ready for revolution? What is going on? Anybody that should be in the seat come 2027, whether Igbo, whether Hausa, whether Yoruba, make sure that the person is a good person and the person has the power to rule this country well. That's one thing that people don't understand. Anyway, guys, let me allow you guys to also listen to what Magnus Oracle have to say about this. Just take a look at this video, guy. I'll be right back.
The current state, when I grew up, when they give you, when they say a paive, that means £2. It means 1 naira. That means there was a time our money was more powerful than the pounds. There was a time our money, Nigerian money, was more powerful than the pounds. 60 years later, where is our money? You see, I've come to the realization that those who are selling the narrative that if you give an Igbo man the presidency, they will break the country, they are, after all, indeed the ones breaking this country. When you hear people saying that if an Igbo man votes for another party, they will be unalived, who is breaking the country? When you hear somebody saying that an Igbo man will never become the president of this country, but you still will not allow them to go, who is breaking the country? Because I know that a Fulani man will not stand in Nigeria and hear that narrative that a Fulani man will never be president of this country. My brother, this country could be on fire. Or a Yoruba man hearing the rest of the country saying that a Yoruba man will never be president. This country for be on fire. So what I see is that a certain portion of this country has mandated itself to be the sole bearer of the leadership of this country. Now, for those who are saying break this country, see, I don't like pursuing shadows. I'm a realist by making. I like pursuing things that can be achievable. For now, breaking this country is a far cry. If your emotions does not allow you to see it, that's your headache. But the truth is, Alex Oti is an example of a governor out of 36 states. And we are all seeing his handwork. Those who have complained that if you give Igbo the presidency, they will break this country, ask them. They are champions from Katsina State, from Southwest, Northwest. What have they done to put Nigeria in an indivisible state other than the rhetoric that the unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct? Nigeria cannot be divided. If we give Igbo, they will be to split Nigeria. How do you have confidence in a country where they cultivate hunger? How do you have...
You guys heard what Magnus Oracle have to say here. Now, the same people who are saying that if you give an Igbo man the presidency of this country, they're going to scatter this country. Let them ask themselves, those ones in Katsina and Kano, their leaders, what have they done? Even looking at an Igbo man who is the governor of a particular state, let's take for instance Alex Oti. You guys have seen Alex Oti's handwork in Abia State. That is enough evidence to tell you that if an Igbo man steps in that place, that Igbo man is going to do far better than all these other ethnic groups. But because of the hatred they have for Igbo people, that is what you see that Nigeria is battling with. And I don't even know whether the people who are saying that, if the real problem of Nigeria are the people who are saying that an Igbo person should not be the president of Nigeria, they are the problems of Nigeria. And also the people who are also saying that they should let them divide this nation, they are also the problem of Nigeria. Because imagine you centered, for years now, for years, this presidency of a thing has been centered into one particular ethnic group. It has been centered upon just one. Only one ethnic group is the one ruling this country, and it's not supposed to be so. It is so unfair. You see the reason why, even when they told the Igbo people to come and protest about the hunger and hardship, they didn't come out to protest, and they still had to come out and blame Igbo people that why did they not come out to protest? Like every single thing, they're blaming the Igbo people. Every single thing. They still had to come out to blame Igbo people. They say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one that started, that created ESN, that's Eastern Security Network. They blamed Nnamdi Kanu that he was involved with the NSAS protest, and you guys saw what happened in the NSAS protest. Where was Nnamdi Kanu? How is he associated with what happened in the NSAS protest? How? Instead, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was even the one that was telling the protesters that they should not allow anybody attack them. And he said the reason why he made that protest because he didn't like what happened in NSAS protest, the way this army were by innocent protesters. Every single thing they want to target in this man's head. The hatred for Igbo people has gone far. These people don't regard Igbo people at all in this account. They don't regard them. And you guys have heard what Magnus Orokwa have to say. Even what Showore said, that the only problem that Nigeria have is Igbo people. And this Nigeria has forgotten that the more they keep hating on Igbo people, the more they cannot go forward. Like they always say that once you demarcate yourself from Igbo people, once Igbo people say today they want to have their own nation, they want to separate, I am telling the honest truth that this country is going to be turned upside down because they cannot survive. Other ethnic group cannot survive without Igbo people. Igbo people is like a strength to all this nation. It's like a strength to all this ethnic group. That is one thing they don't know. That is just one thing they don't know. Anyway, guys, listen to what Magnus Orokwe also have to say concerning
you have confidence in a country where they cultivate low life expectancy through lower healthcare, kidnapping, and terrorism. How do you ensure the country is united in a country where the level of education keeps trolling down the line of enormous decline? And you say the country should not break? I think the narrative that the Igbos will break this country is a mere diversion or a calculated misdirection to enable those who truly want to destroy this country to have their leeway. Otherwise, how do you choose somebody who says he will grab election, snatch election, and run away with it to a man who tells you, don't vote for me because I'm an Igbo man? After all, a Muslim man does not buy bread cheaper in the market. It clearly shows our priorities have been misplaced based on our biases, our misinformation, and deliberate mischiefs. Now, let me myself stop the rhetorics. The question I want to ask, do we really want this country to become better? I am sure the Muslims, the Christians, the terrorists, the Yorubas, the Igbos, everybody will say yes. But I tell you, we cannot have a good country with all these biases that we have had or we are having. We cannot have a country where you say, okay, let us live on from here. But you see, an Igbo man will never rule this country. Certainly that country will. You are telling me that even if an Igbo man bring the best president, the best mind that can actually salvage this country, because an Igbo man is a tag, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a tag on him not to be respected or not to be chosen. But even if a bad president comes from Katsina or from Southwest, no matter how bad it is, we should accept because they are from a privileged tribe. So being an Igbo is an unprivileged tribe. Being an Urubu man is an unprivileged tribe. Any tribe from any tribe that is other than Southwest or Northwest is you are the ones.
Did you see how people used to think? Like, if you're not coming from Igbo, if they are selecting the president of Nigeria, if you're from Igbo, they will remove you. Or if you're if from another state, whether you're bad or good, they will just put you. Just as far as you're not coming from Igbo. It's time for us to start dealing with this mindset about this ethnic bias, about this thing that they are doing about ethnicity. It is very, very bad. You can still see an Igbo person who has the power to change the country. Unless this country is not ready for revolution, unless they don't want a change. Even like a lot is really going on in Nigeria now that we're not even supposed to be looking at where this person is coming from or where this person is not. Like, we should be actually, what we should be looking out for is if this person is good. Can this person actually handle this country? Can this person carry out the tasks of this country? We should not be looking at whether it's from Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo. Once as far as you know, if you're from Igbo, they will give you all your support, whether you're good or bad. And that's one thing that is affecting our country. That's one thing that is affecting Nigeria. And it's just as if this country is not moving forward because of people's mentality, because of their mindset, because of the kind of mindset they have for Igbo people. That is what is spoiling this country. Just like Magnus Orokwa said that he's going to give his full support for P2B if P2B wants to come out for as the president of Nigeria. Many Igbo people will give support to him. If he's coming out for 2027 election, they want to give him full support. But now, for a very long time now, this presidency office, this presidency seat has been centered on one particular tribe, which these people that are saying that an Igbo man must not rule, the highest is either Hausa or Yoruba, are the same people that still come and be crying and making noise in the internet. We will not hear word because of hunger. They will say they regretted voting him. They regretted voting this person. They regretted voting this person. But still, there's no change. These people cannot say, okay, this time around, this 2027, we're going to vote the right people. We will not want to vote people who will come out and scatter the country or make hunger again to exist in the land. No, they don't need to think about that one. They only think about if you're Igbo or not. That is one thing with this country called Nigeria. And now the question is, does this country really want a revolution? Do they really want a change? Or do they still want to keep living in suffering? Because the Nigeria we are seeing today, it's just as if this Nigeria, there's no going back and there's no going front. Because the people who are living in Nigeria don't have sense. They don't have common sense. Like I always tell you that Igbo people are, when it comes to being intelligent, Igbo people are very intelligent. You guys can actually see from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he's a very intelligent man. Even when the man is speaking, you will know that this man, he has like his intelligence is flowing. He doesn't even need anybody to tell him. This man knows the law more than anybody in power. He knows the law. And that's why you see, anytime that they try to bring him down, he's always standing. And the reason why the federal government doesn't like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because he's always exposing the evil agenda. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always exposing these Fulani terrorists. They know that what they're doing is not good. So they don't like someone who is coming out to expose them. They don't like at all. You see, anybody who is the voice of this country, they look for every possible way to just make sure that the person is gone. That's just the thing. But thank God for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because you see, this man will keep speaking the right thing in this country. He will keep speaking. And many people are now asking, many Nigerians are now asking, when are they going to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Because you guys know that Tinubu came to Anambra State, and they're not saying that this is an opportunity for him to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because you guys know that when he came to Enugu State, they were asking him that a lot of people are telling Tinubu that he should use this opportunity he should do something for the Igbo people by releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And ever since he visited Enugu State and left, we've not heard anything from him. Now he has come to visit Anambra again, and now he's not saying anything about it. And many people are not saying that Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, has betrayed them. He has betrayed Igbo people by what really happened in Anambra State, the way they had to even crown Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They gave him one particular crown like that. I don't know the name, the title in Igbo land. And people are saying that he has betrayed Igbo people. That what he should even be talking about, how to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The only thing that Soludo was talking about in that particular meeting was all about P2B, looking for every possible means to bring down P2B. What P2B did in Anambra State. Like, is that supposed to be so? Is that what Soludo should be talking about? But he was only centered on P2B to show you that I don't even know if these Southeast governors even want the release of Mazen Namdekalu. Like, what is going on? Their own brothers, they're not even talking about the release of him. Only what Soludo was talking about was P2B throughout in the whole meeting. And this is when Nigeria started saying that Soludo has betrayed them. Guys, a lot is really happening in our country, Nigeria, and the question is, we need change. We need a revolution right now, and we should always try to remove this mindset that an Igbo man cannot rule. An Igbo man can rule and do better. You guys see what Alex Oti is doing in Abia State. You don't need somebody to tell you that it's an Igbo man that is doing this thing. You can see the marvelous work he's doing in Abia State. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below, and also what do you really think about this thing that Magnus Orokwa has said, and also Sowore, what do you really think about what they said in this video? And also, guys, if you know you're new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share. So guys, thanks for watching, and also see you guys in my next live section.